nothing but wrist locks today?
Wrist locks? Yeah. No. I have a better idea.
Can I do that reverse knee bar that you like so much?
Reverse knee bar. I don't even know what that means.
I forget how I get there.
All right, let's go.
Try it for 50-50.
Here we go. I know what I wanted to do today.
What?
I have an idea.
What's your idea? Are you gonna move the laptop so it doesn't get all loud?
Well, right now it's not humming. It's not. There's no fan.
Ooh, you could prop it up so there's more airflow underneath it so it doesn't get hummy. Like on 2 pencils or something. Is that'll work.
Just as long as it's a good idea.
Neat. Until it won't slide off, will it?
No, it's sticky.
That's good. That would be embarrassing.
Boom, and then it just drags everything down. Are we live? Should I do it?
Or did you already sound check?
I didn't sound check yet. Let's sound check it. We are live, so.
Have you ever noticed that your fingers are like little arms? Like 3 sections, right? The bicep part, and then the forearm, and then the hand part is the same as your fingers. You got the bicep part, and then the forearm part, and then the hand.
That is deep.
So it's like 5 little arms sprouting from your main big arm. It's weird. Anyway.
Deep thoughts.
Have we passed the sound check yet?
What's that?
Have we passed the sound check yet?
We did. We passed the sound check.
Alright.
Change my hands.
Fingers.
What?
Fingers.
Fingers.
Fingers. I've never seen or heard my fingers fing before.
Your fingers aren't really. Right. But they don't have little hands. They don't have little fingers at the end.
Oh, wouldn't that be weird? That'd be
That extra little fingers. Have you ever seen those little things you can put on top of your fingers that are like other little hands?
Yeah.
You go to the store. All right, I think we're good. We're on. So I wanted to do turn around. Actually, we're gonna do lay down on your back. Okay. Over here.
Are we passing?
Kind of, yes, in a way. I want to talk about neon belly and how beautiful neon belly is. Such a great thing. I think
Is this punishment?
this is like one of your favorite things to do, neon belly.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah. But it's not neon belly, like in the sense of we just sit on neon belly and just crush somebody, which is also awesome and very good and should always be done if you can. But I think neon belly is in a way kind of an underrated position, don't you think?
Really? I think it's highly rated.
I don't think so. You
That's why
don't
you get
see
2 points.
You don't see neon belly getting as much love. That's just my feeling.
I like it.
I love neon belly. That's why I want to talk about it today.
Okay.
All right, but I'm not gonna do we'll do a few submissions from neon belly.
You can submit people from Neon Valley?
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
crazy.
Alright.
Let's talk about just get one of my favorite things, right? Which is that people hate neon belly so much that sometimes we should go. You know what we should do first? Going to neon belly from like a that pummel position.
Pummel position.
Pummel.
Which one?
Right. So when you're here,
Where?
you're gonna try that way. Come back, and then you can show your waist too, right? When you're in this kind of like butterfly position, supine,
Supine.
supine.
What does that mean?
That's you. You're flat on your back, as opposed to seated. Now, this is not going to work as much, right? So if you're here, this is one of Kevin's favorite things. Pick up the legs, put them on his back, right? That's a very effective thing to do. Back. I like to think of it as I come down on top, and then pick up, right? As opposed to, right? I just try to go pick his legs up, and I get collar tied and wrist grabbed, and I get sucked in. So if you're gonna do this, my favorite thing, you can do a couple different ways. If you really, like if he's doing a good job with his fingers coming up, you push on his forehead, and you push him back. Right? And if you really hate your training partner and you wanna have a fight, you can push it right on the face. But in general, I like to come in, I come down like that, right? right? And then even here, that's fine. That's even better, right? Don't let him take that leg, right? You don't want that leg hooking your leg. That is not the idea. So, we're here, I come down, put it here, and then you want to put your knee right over their shin like that. So that kills their hook. If you just stand like this, they are going to do bad things to you. So you want to push, drop your knee onto their bottom of their shin right here. And you want to kind of crush it. So that way, and see I'm leaning down. Does that hurt?
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea, right? Add some pain to it. Right? So here.
Are you worried about any feet grabbing?
Well, they're always gonna grab your feet. Almost.
Do you react to it, or do you allow it to happen, or?
Well.
Are you cool with it?
I'm cool with it. You can come into this and try to sort of pull it up, right? But usually what I do is if they pull on that side, right, I'm gonna pummel over to that side. So I assume, now you can do different things. People have different ideas, right? You can come in here, you can kick out, right? So there's always like, you're not gonna pull out, and also because you've got the butterfly hook here, you're not gonna turn out, right? If they're here like this, maybe you can turn out. Yeah. Right? You can do a little short little kick. But I'm not just gonna rotate out. So if I'm here like this and I try to do this, I'll get taken down. Or you can pull my head. This is all not good.
You definitely don't want me to grab both at the same time, right? That's never.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, you can't.
So the key here is so you can kick out, right? So right now Kevin's a little bit closer on that one than this one, so you can always step out of it if you're quick enough, right? So you can just step out. See, I'll do it on this side. So there's that little opening here, and you can kind of find it and step out, but when things are going, maybe it's not so easy. So if the person has both your legs, I like to just really stuff their shins down hard.
Because you're trying to keep me from extending into push you back.
Right, so if I take any weight off of you, that's going to give you the space that you need to extend your heels away from your butt. And it doesn't take much to put me down on my back. Right, so when you do this, in general, I would say I don't want you to have both my legs, because then I can't pump.
Yes.
Right, so that's not good. But you'll see, sometimes I'll pull the legs.
Oh, that's cool.
Here like that. But it doesn't always work, right? Like once I do that to somebody a couple times, like they're just going to keep this really flared, and now pulling on here is not going to work really well.
Is there something that you like to do when they're really flared?
Like, by accident, I just give them as big a nut punch as possible. You get one. No, that's not very effective. So from here, you have to really keep that weight down. Like,
what do you mean not effective? It's extremely
I mean, you better hit where, it's hard to aim exactly where you don't know where the target is exactly. So you have a rough idea. But you want to keep that pressure down. And then usually what I do is, when the person extends, like they almost always try to extend, that's when I push. Right?
Are you trying to get it like the
I could, and then I'll try to pummel through again.
That's fun.
Right? So, but this is kind of like, I don't want them to have doubles. Okay?
So do you keep this foot back usually, or how does that?
So when I'm here, right, that's
You're just super cognizant of it?
I try to be, so if we're here and I'm like, I pick it up, I'll come here, right? And so you have one leg back, right? And then you can, and then you're gonna make this, and then you can start turning and doing your smash passes, right? So, that's not gonna get you to knee on belly though.
Oh yeah.
Right, so here. When you come down here, what I like to do right away is if they don't hit, or as they're doing that, I'll pummel over. Right to here. So that's your right leg. Alright? So you can come in here, pummel to the leg drag.
It's like a steamer step, I think.
A steamer step.
That's how I've been told it's called.
Braulio? Did Braulio come up with that one?
I believe that's what it's been called.
Turn a little bit. So when you're here, you pick them up, you push this down, and then I'm turning his knee a little bit. You'll see my knee turns here, and then I pummel over. I don't find that most people are going to let me do that. Right? They're going to react.
Yeah.
So as I come in and I do this, you're going to turn, right? Yeah. So that's almost always going to be the reaction. So trying to get through here right away is tough. So if the person just lets me do this, that's fine. But usually, yeah, see how he turned his hips here? So you want to anticipate that. So as I come in, I keep this knee. Right, so it's a little, let me go this way. So I'm here, I have my hand here. As I pummel over, I assume he's going to shrimp out to get that other leg. That's when I push that knee. So that's kind of the first way to get your knee down on the belly here. But I'm not trying to like keep Kevin here, right? And like it's usually moving. He's going to keep moving. That's okay. So as we come here, my hand's still here, and I'm going to try to keep my knee in. Yeah, and he's going to try to he's going to be on his side. Okay. And so look, this is the kind of the here, right? And then you can come right down into like a knee cut. The other thing that I really like to do is as we're here and I pummel through, right? If he captures my foot, so sometimes no, not that way. Sometimes you'll catch the foot inside, and that's when I backstep, right? So you can keep going. I guess I would say we're here. Come back in. As we come in, I push. So if Kevin's here, that's when you're going to turn and do that top spin, right? So you're not going to stop. I like to use that knee on belly as a way to get the person to turn into me. Here, I keep that hand here, right? Now, if I can sit here on Kevin and like post on his neck so that he can't curl up and he can't get, then I'll do that. I'm not so much knee on bellying him right now, I'm kind of sitting on his leg, right? If he's foolish with this arm, right, he keeps it hanging or he's pushing on me, right, or does any of this stuff, we can go into the knee on belly, all right? So I'm always looking for this arm. So sometimes a person will post, right? So if I'm here and I come in here, yeah, here I'll just come right underneath.
Or else
So sometimes, they push on the knee because they don't want the knee on belly. So I'm kind of I'm using this kind of as a way for them to force a reaction. Here, I come in. If he pushes on the knee, you can slide in. And then you would be able to do all your arm locks, things like that, or just your passes, right? I like to pick it up, come into that little short kimura, right? Or if I can get it up on my shoulder when they're trying to get that out, right? If I'm here, they go right there. And then if nothing else, I come down. And I still like to have that knee on belly. I don't go cross-side because that still is nice. It prevents them. Yeah. So the first thing is like kind of monitoring that arm. Because if they push on your knee, they push on your shoulder, they push on your hip, then you're able to underhook it.
You're looking to get in.
Always looking for that underhook.
So you're just kind of like barreling down into them to get them to kind of react to you?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm here like this, here. Now, if they do this, right, then you top spin. And now you're behind them. So I want them, it's almost like I want them, and not almost, I want them to be on their sides. But if they stay flat, then that's fine. Because if they stay flat here, then I go right to knee on belly. And you see, I keep this as much as I can, kind of not even too far across. If my knee is still like, if this is the center of Kevin's body, it's well off to the side.
And you're like more hip connected.
Yeah, I'm not really putting a lot of weight down on Kevin right now, because the point is not to like try to smash him. Because I couldn't anyway, so I'm off to the side.
If I start escaping out, you occupy that space.
Yeah. And then you'll see too, I mean, this is just little arm kind of pinning things. It's like if his arm is lazy down here, like I'll pin. I like doing that a lot. Right? So here, yes. So here, then just back step. And then almost always, like either A, he's going to stay here like this, you know, or he's going to try to get up. And then you're going to have it back, or whatever.
you're still in this great position here. Whatever you want to do from here. Right? Or you just go all the way back here and just stay down, like to referees, kind of like a wrestling referee's position. So this is also good. Sometimes you can't, it's hard to get all the way here. So even off of this, let's go back here, kind of reverse de la Hiva type of position. Yeah, you definitely don't want that. Because now your leg's totally locked, right? So this is something you want to do kind of quickly before they can grab it. So as he goes, you want to you don't want to get your leg trapped. Go back. And there's different ways to do this, right? You can be here as he goes. You can just step out. You're feeling, what's the word, saucy? Right? You just come out. Nope. See, but you see I still keep that.
Yeah.
I try to keep that always pushing past. This is just an old version, really, of the X-Pass. Remember the X-Pass?
Is that the one where you're like...
Yes. So I remember when I first saw this, and it was like Salo was showing it. I watched that video. It was a Jiu-Jitsu Revolution, I think it was called. Mm-hmm. Still a great video. Still, it's dated now, but all the principles that Salo teaches and talks about in there, still 100% applicable.
Yeah.
You know, he's a world champion. He's a legend of the sport. I mean, he knows Jiu-Jitsu. And so it's just one of those old, one day I'll do like a review of of that video and in today's kind of mindset.
Yeah.
To see people have forgotten, I think, a little bit of how good Salo was.
Well,
He's amazing.
I've seen that technique in probably every academy. It's still
At X.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where Salo, the beauty of that DVD was that Salo had a very simple system. Mm-hmm. And it was just like an A-B system, ABC. You'd set up in the system, he had headquarters, where it was just this knee here. Now, this was before De La Hiva. He didn't really talk a lot about De La Hiva, reverse De La Hiva. Yeah. There was no worm guard back then. Just stepping in like this now is kind of suicide. I think you're going to be stuck in here for a long time.
It's still a great thing to do.
Well,
don't discourage people.
I would just say that it doesn't, I'm just saying from the perspective of when you give, if you were to say hey, go watch Salo's DVD.
It's not so simplistic anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the person who's going to try to do a half guard.
Yeah.
Right? Like the old-fashioned half guard. They're going to do
a whole bunch
4 or 5 other things that he doesn't discuss. So it's not the ideas there are all still great. The principles are still great. And I'm sure if Salo came in, 99% of people playing De La Hiva, they tried to do that, or reverse De La Hiva to Salo, you can just crush it. But none of us are Salo, right? Or very few of us have that kind of level.
Use with caution.
So the old school way was, you'd have here, and you kick this up, and you push through, and then you come into that knee on belly. And that's kind of where I remember first seeing this, I think. Yeah. Where I was like, oh, because he would do the whole tripart, the 3-part thing of, he's going to let you come down, and then you'd pass, right? That knee cut. And then, okay, he's kind of doing this, and so then you backstep. And then, he's not going to, or he gets behind you, and now you backstep. I'm sorry, I was going to say not backstep, but you do X-pass. Yeah. And then the backstep. And it was this 3-part thing. I was like, this is magic. And I remember doing that a lot. Yeah. But then what I didn't like doing this part and being up here like this, so I kind of adapted it to just a short little hummel.
I think that big fancy backstep is better than the gi where you can
you have the grips. It's also better when you're Salo and you have grips of steel and no one can really stop you from doing what you want. Yeah. But when you're smaller, not as good.
Sometimes it's hard to get that that.
So I just do a little short hummel on this position, and you can't wait until he has that toe on the other side. You see, especially Kevin, his shins are as long as my entire leg. If you let him make that little toe hook, it's going to be bad news for you. So you can't just sit in here and wait for this, right? Now he's going to go under, right, or he's going to take you backwards. So you can't wait. If you get into this position and you have time, you can just straighten your leg and it'll peel that off, right? So you can, and then you might want to step back over. Whee! If only it were that easy. So you can always step, right? You can step in the middle, and then you have to watch this hand, because if he catches your leg, you can't do it anymore. And now he's going to go into a reverse de la Hiva. So you have to anticipate here. Right, and then you just drop the knee onto the neck. Yeah, whatever it is. If you like your partner, then be nice. If not, then whatever.
Still be nice.
Still be nice. So I like coming in, just doing that little pummel right here. Right, and then you can just go knee cut here. Right now it's easy here. Right. So I like a lot of times I'll get to that knee on belly. Right, off of this, here, right? And then I'll just kind of, what you don't want is you don't want to let him get underneath your leg. That's bad, especially for me because I have a bad hip. That hip is my bad hip too, so you don't want to let people grab your leg. So as you come in, whether knee cut or not, you want to block, right? So if I feel him, yeah, you want to block that if you can. Or just get down, you can get to here, just right for the knee cut. Palm strikes are, you get one, right? You get one palm strike, elbow, whatever it is. And then I like to push right on the neck. Right? I like
Is that allowed? Or
yeah, just to keep them from coming up.
I thought you could only stiff arm. You weren't allowed to push down.
I can push, I mean, come on. You can push right here if you want.
Yeah, but like, if my head was already on the floor, you couldn't like squish down, I think, right?
Totally you're allowed to squish down. You're not allowed to put the hands over, IBJJF won't let you put your hands over the mouth.
But you can Batman them?
You can, I mean, right here, that's nothing, I mean, what's...
But could you go over here?
I'm not sure, I think technically you're not allowed to put your hands on any part of their face.
What?
I don't think you can put it on their face. I can't do that.
Yeah, but like you can't go like this on someone
I don't think so.
and make them talk like Bruce Wayne?
You have to like open your fingers so they can see you. Back here, right here.
Oh, that's so
Are you
good.
psyched for the new Batman?
No.
I hate it already. I think it's lame.
I don't really like detective stories, so I like, more creepy, visually interesting. I like Batfleck with Ben Affleck.
No, I hate that.
Really?
You know what? I never watched that. I can't even say if I hate it. I was like, I hate Ben Affleck so much I wouldn't watch it.
Oh yeah, you hate Ben Affleck.
Oh my!
So-
Well, I don't hate him. Hate is a strong word.
Well.
Let's say I'm not a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now this is not. You're not gonna be able to pummel out of anything when they have your foot pinched like this. So then you just got to go straight to the knee
Oh,
and
too
the
late.
elbow.
Too late. What do you do there?
I elbow you like that.
When someone's koalaing your leg, you elbow them. That's
Well, I mean, it's easy, right?
a way to make your training partners angry.
Yes.
I like to just put things in the way here. How do you feel about that? When I'm on bottom, just like put my arm right here, so if you want to go into neon belly, it's just slightly inconvenient.
Oh, you mean just like keep it here? Where would you do it?
It's just right here. It's just hanging out. Can
And
do
then what
it
happens if the
belly?
person does this?
Then it's in the way. Look, I've got an arm in the way.
And so then there's no points, right? Because it's a neon arm.
Well, it's no points because your toe is on the floor here.
Is that the rule? The toe can't be on the
The
floor?
toe can't be on the
Are
floor.
you sure about
I'm
that?
very sure.
Are you 100% sure?
That's what I've been teaching the kids. this
Yeah, I think
whole
that's
time.
wrong.
No, that toe can't be on the floor.
Regardless. All right, let's talk about some submissions from that position.
Spinning armbar.
That's one. We went over that the other week. didn't we?
Reverse armbar.
Well, there's a lot. We just did the one from the. Let's go this way. So let's say you go. I like here, right to knee on belly. And so the first one is right. If there's any space here, like any of this, you have the reverse. No one should be ever pushing on your knee. You have this here. You have the spinning.
Ooh, there's also all these.
Right. If he's pushing up, then you can come in here. Right. So those are all.
Do you want to do the backspin one, or what do you call it? The thing where you
Top spin.
top spin. 'Cause
No, I wanted to show. So I just wanted to show these first, right? So knee on belly, these are like kind of common, right? So here's push on the knee, I come through the hole, and then I pull, right? Here. And I keep this here, and I like to just, as much as I can, right? If you go straight here, I think those are the two main ones, or you can step the spin.
I like that one more.
Spin is good.
I think it's fancy.
It's super good. This is just quick.
Yeah.
Right, so the benefit of this is that, I mean, I might miss it, like he might flare out or something, right? But if you get this here, it's a quick tap. I don't have to move at all, right? It's just right here. If this arm comes across, so sometimes the arms come up, I also like, well then you would come
Is that no?
that one, right? Or you can always get, if you can clear those arms, you get to the to this one, which is one of my favorites. And I don't really do this as much anymore.
Are you doing fingers?
You can do grips. You can do like this grip. I just do almost like a gable.
You do a gable?
I do a gable, but I'll do like a reverse gable. So instead of like thumb to thumb gable, I'll do that one.
What? Thumb? They're both thumb to thumb.
No. So look, this one is the classic.
Wait.
This is, so I take here, look at my hands, here.
Hold on.
That's what I'm doing.
Thumb to thumb is gable.
That's gable.
This is still thumb to thumb. Look, thumb to thumb.
It's
right
not,
now.
look at my thumbs are opposite.
No.
Thumbs are touching. Look at my thumbs are here, now they're not touching. This is like a butterfly grip.
Hold on. So are you? No, thumbs are touching on the side, right?
That's a gable, right? That's a traditional gable.
So.
Right? So if I'm here, I do that. That would be different.
How is it different?
Look, it's different. Look at it. I just changed the ones. Now I'm putting. So what? Here we go.
The thumbs are still together.
This
look.
is. It's not. Look at my thumb. My thumb are here, and now they're there. Totally
But
different.
your thumbs are.
The difference. Maybe the thumb is the wrong thing
Wait,
to say.
Do it again.
What I'm doing is I'm doing that. I'm switching from top position with my right hand to the bottom. So
Yeah,
this
but-
lets me do that.
Yeah, but it's like it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
But
It's literally the opposite.
no, because look, the thumbs.
I'll
do
tell
the
you
same
what. Here
thing
we
on
go.
each
Let's go
side.
back and you can feel the difference. Like you can choke, right? And you can feel the choke.
But the thumbs.
The thumbs are totally different. That's totally.
No, look.
But look.
They're on opposite sides here. They're on opposite
Forget
sides
about the
here.
thumbs. Okay, that's
It's
obviously
insane.
you can't get that. Look, this one I'm going from here where my right hand is on top, and I'm switching it so that my right hand is on the bottom position now.
But aren't they still? Are they chiral or are they mirror image?
I don't know what you're talking about. My thumb now. Look at this thumb is on my pinky.
This thumb to pinky. This
And
is
this thumb-
also thumb to pinky. Look.
You're
thumb to
right.
pinky.
You're right. You're right. That's why I'm saying just switch.
Yeah, but
Just
they're both
switch.
gable grips, right?
They're not. This is
They're,
totally
they're,
different.
they're both equal.
They're not equal.
They're two types.
There
of the
depends
same
on what
thing.
your position is.
I know, because here it's like more back,
Yes.
and here is weaker. Here I know they're different, but they're both gable grips, right?
No.
Gable grip
I
one
don't
and
know
gable
if they
grip
are. I don't
two.
think this is a great gate. How would you, like if you were in an arm lock on your right arm, how would you grip
I
your
would
hand?
do palm down here, right, and then here because I want to
Go here. Let me see your, lay down. This is an important debate.
They're both gable grips.
No, they're not.
They are that.
One is a gable, one's a reverse gable.
No.
Now, is that how you would hold it? If I was arm locking you, how would you?
Here, yes.
Why wouldn't you hold it the other way?
Because this is bad.
This is a reverse gable. It's
No.
not the same. That's what I'm saying.
They're the same.
They're not. Then why don't you do the other way?
Because I don't want to.
Because it doesn't work as well.
But if you were on this side, I would do it this way.
Yes.
Because they're the same.
But they're not the same.
Here, this I want this way. If we switched arms, would I want to do it the same way? No. I would do it this way because it's
But it's
gable grip.
because you're changing the grip of your arm depending on which side you want.
Yeah, because they're both gable grips on each side.
I'm calling one a reverse gable depending on what side you're on. Lay down.
Is the left side on top?
All right, I'm going to concede the point. I've lost this argument. You win. Fine. Can we just move on?
Yeah, really good.
You won. I concede.
Right.
I'll take your argument under consideration. How about that?
Nice.
I've never lost an argument. I table it.
Okay.
I table the argument.
That's fine.
So now I'm going to choke you super hard. Okay. So we're here. Come back over this way.
What am I doing?
Right? So I will say this, everyone's arms are different, your hands are different, and making these grips is going to be kind of a personal thing. You know, if you have like long, skinny, flexible wrists, you might do a different grip. I'm not going to say that one grip is absolutely the best grip. You just have to experiment for your body type and your arms, right, and your wrists and your fingers. Okay. So some people, yeah, they'll take that kind of this 10-finger grip and they'll try to do that. I don't like that grip.
I like it.
But I'm not going to say it's wrong because I'm sure there are people who are very good at it.
I find that this grip gives you a little bit more space
Yes.
than here we're cutting down. Then you do that like super deep.
Butterfly.
Yeah, I don't do that one ever, but
If I can get it, I like that one.
Yeah.
And then there's also like these things where you're like pulling off the side.
Mhm.
You know, like your
Like the
like a body lock. Sometimes the body locks, you take those, or you're able to really pull your elbows back. So from here, right, when we're here like this, you can come in here. So this is going to be awkward. You see this is a traditional, what I would say. This, I take that one because you just feel like you can't really dive. At least I can't. So I take the opposite and I try to pull up like this. So I try to bring all. I don't want to do it from here because then my elbow runs into his neck and there's too much space. And then here, and I want to drop this down, but one of the keys is straightening that arm. So it's like like with the Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel. Sometimes people talk about like the push, or even the straight choke, like the cross strokes. You know, you think about like this, which is not right, I don't think, but just you want to straighten the bottom arm, is what I'm trying to say, right? So if you just focus on cutting across the neck, you're going to lose a lot of the power of this choke.
So you're talking about like wrist-ish things?
No, this is not wristing. This is this arm, my bottom arm across your neck is going to be lifted.
That's cool.
Right? So instead of getting here and dropping my weight, right, which is actually
That's not bad.
uncomfortable for me, but what happens is I lose base. Because as I go here like this and I try to do this, I have no base to the back. And against a big guy, it's not going to work out for me. And then he's going to be really mad because I just tried to paper cutter him. So what I want is I'm going to try to keep this pressure coming to the back so I can actually lean backwards here, right? So as I'm here, I pull up. I'm going to drop in. Let's see if I can do this right. Sorry. Yeah. You all right?
Is this a paper cutter or is it a baseball bat?
Baseball bat. Sorry. Paper cutter's this way. Baseball bat that way. So, and the other thing I want to suggest to you guys is that you don't have to sell out on this right away, right? So I was off of him all the way. So when you come in here, when you drop, you're here, you can just kind of hang out in here. Because I keep the knee on the belly, right? So there's not actually a lot of pressure on it. I'm not trying to cover your neck.
Should I be doing something with my arms as a person on bottom? What's the thing?
To defend?
Yeah.
I mean, you can always try to defend. Yeah. So here's the other thing. Like if he drops this in and holds, you'll never be able to clear to there if he's good, right? If he's a decent, strong guy, right? But that doesn't account for the bottom, right? So maybe that one, I don't like that one either. Yeah, I can't do the finger one. So try to come in.
What was that?
Hmm?
What was that?
Maybe it was a different one.
That was weird.
Oh, you like that one better.
That was stronger.
All right, so let's revise it. I'll revise that on the fly.
Can
No,
they-
here, come back so they can see what I did. This is one of those things where you remember how you were taught, and then when you have to really do it, you revert to the thing that you actually do.
Yeah.
So, difference. Grab up here on your wrist. So now I'm not on my wrist. There's no wrist involved. It's here. So even if he holds my elbow, I'm still able.
Wow.
There you are.
Yeah.
So you can do it to me. It's payback time.
Thank you.
My delicate neck.
I'm really bad at this. So we're.
You can just put your knee. The knee doesn't have to. The knee's basically you just keep your knee down here for a little bit. So you're here.
Setting.
So what happens is guys still hold, right? And so this elbow, yeah. So now you're gonna, yeah. So you do it a little bit different because you turn your shoulder.
I was experimenting with letting this bend and like just cutting down here versus pulling up here and then coming.
That's a good one too. I mean, it's one of those that you feel like you can withstand, but it's just so painful that something's gonna break. That's also here. Go back and do that again.
No, it's different. I'm sorry. That one is scooping here, underhooking.
That's easy to stop. I mean, you'll go on the arm now. But you see what I did? I mean, if you come,
You just got in the way.
I just put my shoulder up in there. So now you're gonna go to the arm, but you're not gonna get my neck, right?
Here, that's what I want.
It's too easy. It's too
It's
easy.
like trying to get that elbow.
Try the one with the wrist. I like that one.
When we're here.
Yeah, that's super tight. But your arms are so. The difference is that your arms are so damn long.
Yeah.
Your levers are like long levers.
I forget when I do this to pull the slack out. So that makes it,
Super hard.
yeah, very difficult.
Very uncomfortable. Here. Here. Then drop in.
Ow. Do you like to take advantage of this when they expose this in any way to like switch attacks?
You mean like bring it across or anything? Or?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Well, you have all the darces too, right? Like, so we haven't really talked about any of the darces. If this arm comes to the opposite shoulder,
That's silly.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean that, right? But even here, right, you can still come into there, okay? So you have all the darces too. I mean, it's a really good way to start doing darces. If the person starts reaching or coming up, so come back, let's do darces. I want to do a darce one. I like my favorite darces. You said do a lot more darces. I don't do darces anymore.
I like darces. I like darces.
You like darces?
Mm-hmm.
Come in here, right?
You really like lean on a person when you do.
Right here. And then the thing I like with darces is when I'm here, a lot of times people think about pushing down on it. I like to pull up.
That's fun. I like that.
So I pull, it's the same principle where I pull up on it. So the bottom arm is the working arm. I used to miss a lot of darces because I would sit here like this, right? And I would squeeze like this and the person wouldn't tap. And then I started figuring out that if I did this and I'm bringing my right elbow up on that darce, it becomes a lot more.
That's true. More darce per darce.
So let's show them this way. I don't know how you like to finish your darces. But
Elbow squeezing, shoulder pulling.
yeah.
Do you want me to try an underhook here or no?
You want an underhook? Let me want an underhook. Where would you underhook?
That's usually the start for my darces when someone's trying to get under here and then you drop it.
I mean, for mechanically, like just in terms of like learning how to finish the darce,
Oh, it's,
I just wanted to show, right? Like, so there's a couple things here. Is, you really want to get like your ear high, so then you can get your arm through.
What do you mean high? Up on my shoulder?
Yeah, I like that. Because I'm shorter. Like when you're super long, you can just throw your arms in there.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can. But when you're short and short-armed like me, you gotta extend. You gotta figure out the way to get the maximum amount of arm length.
I always think instead of about my ears, I think about dropping the shoulder down into the armpit.
Whatever works, right? Whatever works. So here.
Just because I have long arms
You
doesn't
do.
mean jujitsu is easy for me.
Yes. You have an unfair advantage. So look, guys. Look, you're here, right? And Kevin has his own way too, where you bring that arm. You may get your leg over.
Oh yeah.
Bring your leg over.
It depends on the person, but sometimes yes.
Yeah. Usually with the darces, for me, if the person keeps a really solid like posture, it's not going to work for me, right? I'll probably, if I keep digging for it, if I keep digging on a person that has good posture, right, and I keep going here, he might even turn me over. Yeah, or he'll do all this stuff. Yeah. But you're kind of getting off. So this is really for when the person's curling up into me.
Oh, like coming in.
Yeah. I mean, here it's like this is perfect because you're already giving it to me, right? So all I wanted to explain to people was when I'm in here and I get him curled up and you're in this position, one of the best ways, like, so don't think about squeezing. I don't think about squeezing. Maybe it works. I mean, you can try different things, but I think about extending that arm.
It's strange.
Right? So I go here and I'm deep. I pull up. You feel that?
Yeah.
Like I'm like doing this with my arm.
It's great.
You love that, huh?
Love it.
And then the best one, this is my favorite. You love this one, right?
Is this more on top of that?
On top of
In
that,
addition to
when
it?
all else fails,
Okay.
when all else
Are
fails,
you gonna do one then the other?
no, I'll do gently. So this one's really good if the person's getting up. Like if you get up on your knees, right, you can go down and you can go from the bottom.
That's That's not an anaconda, is it?
No.
It's just an upside down Darce.
It's an upside down Darce, but it's really powerful. It's one of those that, it's kind of like that guillotine, where you get that initial throat, like the hand across your throat, the wrist across your throat, and you're like, and you gag. It's kind of like almost that feeling, where you bring so much pressure right away, and it's kind of surprising because the person's on top, and so they think that all the pressure that's generated from the Darce is because of your weight, and it's not. I mean, that can be a significant, depending on how big your training partner is.
How do you stop them from getting their elbow across?
How do you stop what from where?
The person from getting their elbow across your body. One.
All right. Naruto. All right, so the question is, how do I stop the person from getting an elbow across my body?
Yeah.
So which elbow are we talking about?
I think the one that's on the inside.
This?
Yeah.
And so I don't want it to be where?
Alright, so we're getting up, right?
Yes.
And then you roll. You do your rolling thing, and then I'm talking about this over.
That, yes.
Across
Yeah, you don't want that. Don't step on my glasses though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Found it. Is
Yeah,
it like,
that's a problem, right?
just don't let them?
Well,
That's a good answer. I'll accept
just,
that.
I mean, you don't want to like do it from, like, if you're here, and then you're just like super light, and you let the person do that, and that's not so good. Back, just squeeze really hard, as hard as you possibly can, before they're able to get on their knees. Like, you shouldn't be waiting, this is not gonna be like, I'm waiting for you to get to your full knees.
Well, do you invite people up to their knees, or is it like they're getting to their knees, there's nothing I can do, and I'm going with the flow because this is where it's going?
Well, I mean, you have a decision to make, right? Like, if you had the Darce on and tight, like, you have to get a sense of like, how tight have I had this?
Yeah.
Right? If I feel like I've had the Darce for a while and this guy's just a beast,
Yeah.
I may think like, I don't want this person on top of me. I may bail on the Darce,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to letting him on top. As opposed to, this guy is on his last legs and this is
like
his
a desperation.
This is his desperation, then maybe I just don't have any choice. Maybe there's 10 seconds left and I feel comfortable selling out because there's no time left anyway,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, he's gonna get on top. I'm gonna hold on no matter what for 5 seconds.
Just make his life miserable in the meantime.
Whatever, right? So, come back, I wanna see. I don't know if I can stop you from doing it.
I'm gonna try.
You're gonna try. So we're here,
Uh-huh.
right? And what are you doing?
So I gotta get to my knees first.
Okay.
So let me.
So first I gotta let you get to your knees.
No. Try not to let me get to my knees. I'm gonna hulk my way there.
All right. You're gonna hulk your way. Yeah, now I'm sprawling.
Fine.
So let's get off balance.
Why would you get off balance? No, this is weird. Don't get off balance.
Okay.
I'm gonna get up.
All right, you're gonna get up. Am I squeezing or am I just holding you?
Do whatever you want. Okay. Alright, that didn't work. That was fine. Alright.
I mean, I'm lying if I said that I wasn't sprawling down on you pretty hard.
Oh, no, that's great.
But I mean, you could feel me pull like straight in my bottom arm, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that like the reverse RNC squeeze.
I'm gonna try.
I don't want to hurt your neck.
No, it's fine. I got it.
I mean, first of all, I
I'm
never
just
get
gonna-
Kevin this deep.
I'm gonna get so that I'm not dying immediately.
You're already cheating on me.
I'm not
You
cheating.
gotta let me have it. Okay. Once you get one on them,
Yeah.
that's it. It's too painful. It's like,
Well, it's like you got like right across that.
yeah.
Sparky, I call it. Sparky the tendon.
I never get you that far because you're always so good with your posture. Yeah, if you guys don't want to get Darced, have good posture.
But like, what's nice about the Darce is like if you get the grip and you can really just kind of break a person down psychologically. Like, and it takes, with some people you really have to kind of break them spiritually in order to keep them from coming up and just ignoring it.
I mean, the other thing I wanted to do before we go, I wanted to say one other thing. You're really good at this, which is, when you're on top, especially maybe it's not about being bigger or smaller. But when you're on top, I do this more, I think of it more when I'm on with somebody bigger than me. But when you're on top in a mount and you're thinking the person on the bottom is kind of a bull and he's gonna push you off. Like going to the knee on belly is like a really, I very rarely from a mount just base out.
Yeah.
Almost never. If I can, I will do it if I can, if my leg is trapped or something. But if my legs are free, I will always go back to a knee on belly.
Yeah.
And then that allows me to not get bucked over. Even if the person still manages to get up,
Yeah.
I'll still not be on bottom
Yes.
because I have a knee on belly. And so the knee on belly, and then you can do all the things that we're doing here in terms of, all those little short kimuras, spinning arm locks, the darces, anacondas, kimura traps. You have all those options, from the knee on belly.
Yeah.
And so it's a great transition position, and it's also a really good position to just like kind of hang out sometimes and just catch your breath
Yeah.
and plot your next attack.
I always used it as a way to stop things from getting too out of control.
Yeah.
Right? If someone starts to escape, it's like kind of a way to just like put a lid on it and be like, no, I can really use my weight and my shin to flatten their hips back out, get them back down where their chest is pointing to the ceiling. And yeah, it's like a good place where I can be heavy, but I can also, I'm not like hyper committed compared to the
You're
other.
mobile.
Yeah,
You're
I
mobile.
can maintain my dynamicness, and I'm not like, some of the other positions where you're like super committed with your arms and your upper body, and you can almost feel trapped there. But with knee on belly, it's nice because I feel like I can get up and walk away if I'm doing it right.
I won't say his name, but the person who that I really value, I learned to value this position, was a prominent CrossFit athlete who we used to train with quite a bit. And when I would mount on top of him, he would just throw me across the room.
Yeah.
There was no he's like a force of nature.
We can't say his name.
Well, I don't want to call him out or anything. I mean, whatever.
He
But
who must not be.
he must not be named. But it's one of those things where even though he was immensely strong
Yeah.
and explosive, like a knee on belly would just kind of negate all that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not there, right? I'm not there to be bench pressed off.
Yeah. And it's the perfect position to kind of transition.
It's one of the, if you think about it, it's like if you want to put all your weight into one little point, we often think about our shoulders, but your knees, one of the most powerful ways to drop pressure onto somebody in a very specific manner, but it cannot be argued with.
I rarely do the pointy knee method of knee on belly though. I like the shin across the hips.
Yeah. I like it more, I'll either take it low on the hip or I take it up across the collarbone, but I'm not.
Sort of like pinning the shoulder.
Yeah, but I'm not, I try to like trap the arms a lot and try to do that top spin. So I cheat more high. So there's lots of different like variations of knee on belly. Knee on neck, knee on face.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but and what's led up to that point.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to kind of take the fight out of somebody while you're still totally mobile and you can still be offensive.
Yeah. I'm hyper careful about it now because there was a point in my training when I broke someone's rib cage.
Did you? Good.
Well, he was like moving around and I was like, I'm gonna calm this guy down, and he kept getting calmed down, but then eventually I heard this crack in like this middle of his chest.
Oh, nice.
And,
Like
I just-
sternum?
Yeah, like felt my knee just go down an inch, like not an inch, like a half inch, like suddenly. And we both looked at each other and I was like, okay.
Did he break his ribs or was it just his like up here?
There
Just
was,
cracked his
I
sternum?
think there's a really small bone that sticks out here, and I think I just caught it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so be careful, don't do that.
The person on bottom should be careful.
Yeah, well, he was being tough, and
Yeah, I mean,
that's the thing about like I've had a couple of rib fractures where it's like I feel like I'm gonna try and tough through this pressure, and then the bone just gives or the muscles do. So
I think, in jiu-jitsu, a lot of times you take for granted the positional superiority that someone really has over you because we're not going to punch and kick each other.
yeah,
But when you take that for granted against somebody to the point where you're like exploding from underneath,
yeah,
and then they feel the need to like reciprocate, and they just have a much better position, then you're going to eat a knee. You know what I mean? Like there's a million times in training where you can drop a knee on top of somebody's face or neck or wherever, a soft or relatively fragile thing, and we rely on the other person's forbearance. But if I spaz out and go crazy with somebody who is just being nice on top of me, then this eventually, over the course of many rolls, will, not go well for me, right? Eventually someone will get tired of my crap, or maybe he's not as careful or skillful about placing their knees in places that will not injure me, or will allow me to injure myself.
Makes me wonder how many people that made mad.
Because you got injured a lot. I bet you pissed off a lot of people.
Probably.
All right, thanks guys.